Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 84. Let's kick this off. So the first question is from Starlight William Magician. At the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Jaden and Yugi clash, but we don't see who won. Who do you think would have won? Well, it seems to be heavily implied that Yugi won. The question is how? Because obviously, we see the last turn of the duel that Yugi has a 5,000 attack Slice of the Sky Dragon, while Jaden has Shining Flare Wingman, Neos, and Flare Scarab. Now, obviously, because Slifer was special summoned, it would have gone to the graveyard at the end of the turn. So, I don't know what Yugi would have done to turn things around, because what was in his hand? Like Blackluster Soldier, Buster Blader, Valkyrian, Magical Hats, and Original Karibo. It really does depend what he would have drawn next. I guess it would have been like some level 4 or lower monster with decent attack, which at the very least could have run over Flare Scarab and did some damage. I don't know it would have been game though. And maybe he would have protected with magical hats. Unless, of course, in Jaden's main phase 2, he would have contact fused Neos and Flare Scarab away and made Flare Neos, which then would have been weakened by Slifer the Sky Dragon. But at least there wouldn't be a Flare Scarab on the field in attack mode. So I'm pretty sure Jaden summoned it in attack mode, as far as I remember. But it's hard to say. If he top decked Monster Reborn, like I remember actually, what was it, TCG Anime discussing this, trying to figure it out. And I will say a few things that he said. If he used it on Sliver the Sky Dragon again, he would have got rid of Shining Flare Wingman, but that wouldn't have done much since it would have gone back to the graveyard. So, so maybe he would have used it to bring back Dark Magician, then attack and destroy the defense mode Flare Neos, and then play Magical Hats and try and stay safe from Shining Flare Wingman. It's tricky to say. Actually, that is a risk of destroying Flare Neos, because with another Elemental here in the graveyard, Shining Flare Wingman's attack points would have gone up even more. Don't know. It could have gone either way. Jaden would have had a solid chance, but like I said, it seems to be implied that Yugi won somehow. Yeah. It's just really hard to say. Next 3 questions are from Matt and Alison Welch. 1. Very great deck profile on your Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. Thank you. Out of the 3 original boss monsters, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes, Red Eyes seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to getting new support, or support that's not consistent enough. Yeah, I absolutely agree. As Blue Eyes seems to have it better. Dark Magician is like in the middle, and yeah, you're right. Red Eyes does get the short end of the stick. What do you think the archetype needs to be more competitive? Obviously not Dragoon because that card is cancerous to the game, sadly. Amen to that, my friend. Uh, I don't know really. Um, I mean, I don't think it really needs to be competitive though. Because like not everything in the game needs to be competitive. There's more to the game than the competitive side. Um, I guess whatever we would get, it it shouldn't have any unnecessary drawbacks. Like one thing I'm thinking of is like their own version of parallel world fusion, um, where materials listed on the Red Eyes fusion monsters would be shuffled from the graveyard or banished zone back into the deck to bring it out. And not have a drawback to it, and still be able to summon other monsters, unlike Red Eyes Fusion, which of course denies you from summoning anything else that turn. Um, that's one thing that could help it out and just reuse uh, some pieces. Um, hmm, like maybe another fusion as well that can use like any Red Eyes monsters, not uh, you know, monsters or dragons or whatever that uh, have have to have specific levels. Of course, I can't think what other kind of fusion they could have, but maybe it could help for sure. Can't really think of anything else to be honest. Two, when you profiled your Exodia deck, Matt and I got thinking, do you think we will get new support? Preferably a spell card that specifically searches out monsters that include the forbidden one in its name from your deck to your hand. Um, I mean, I don't know how likely that would be, but it's a possibility. It would certainly help it out a lot. Obviously, its activation would have to be a hard once per turn, but then again, knowing Konami, they might probably make it a once per duel kind of effect. I'm not sure. Um, but other than that, if we did get a spell to support Exodia, then Konami are gonna have to ban Raw Magical Library. Because obviously that would help out the FTK variants of Exodia. In fact, like I said before, Royal Magical Library should have been banned ages ago because that card is the problem card when it comes to FTK decks. I mean, why it's still legal is just beyond me. I mean, some could argue that FTK decks uh, are inconsistent and can brick, but bricking doesn't always happen. Like, nor does it justify FTK decks existing. Um, yeah, that's what I'd have to say. Three, out of all the fusion spells in the game, which one is by far your favourite one? Matt's favourite is the Eye of Timaeus, and mine is a tie between Miracle Fusion and Neos Fusion. Well, it's funny you should say that because Miracle Fusion is my favourite as well. Like, it's one of my top 10 favourite cards in general in the game, and my second most favourite spell. Um, like Super Poly is another favourite, followed by Neos Fusion. Um, but definitely Miracle Fusion was like it's the best spell in my Elemental Hero deck. Or well, any deck really that needs the Elemental Hero fusions. Like it's a great card to top into and turn the tide of the duel. Um, I've lost count of how many times I've top decked Miracle Fusion, brought out Shining Flare Wingman, and just took the game. Um, like it was just great. Next three questions are from Weber's 5. 1. Did you watch the final of YCS London? That game 3 was crazy. No, as like I've said before, I don't care about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. I have no interest in the competitive side, so why would I want to watch it? Um, Plus, I don't even know how I would have been able to watch it anyway. Um, but I am curious about what happened in this third game. Maybe you can tell me later. 2. You know how I plan an invitational tournament at the end of each tournament year? Last, sorry, given last year we got dumped in the basement, this year I'm hosting it at my house. Oh, cool. Regardless on if you qualify or not, would you like to join us? Good chance to record some games and profiles from our locals best. And I have a pizza stone I was planning to use. Look, I would be honoured to join. I definitely will. Um, Whether or not I'll record any competitive games and deck profiles, I'm not too sure about, as again, that's not really my thing. Um, Maybe I will, depending on the decks, but either way, I'll still gladly come along. 3. If I were to retire from competitive play or entirely, what card that I own would you like the most? I have an idea in mind on which one you'd choose, but I'll save that for after you've done the Q&A. Um, we have a lot of nice cards, very nice cards, I should say. Um, but I can't really think what card you're referring to that I want to. I would want rather. Um, Nothing's springing to mind. Um, Unless it was shown and I've completely forgotten about it. Um, I'm curious as to what it is. Um, Next two questions are from Gunnar, who submitted these questions just in time, I might add. Um, what do you think about TG? I built a deck for around $25. I last played them around 2010 and wanted to play them again because no one really does. Um, well, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I like TGs. Like they're so awesome and so much fun. I've never played them myself, but they're really cool. Although there is one card in the archetype that I don't like, and that's their own version of Creature Swap. It's just so fucking annoying. Just taking one of my monsters, then using it to attack a TG that was given to me, and then get a search at the end of the turn. Like, so dirty. Um, Hated. Um, but other than that, I rate TGs. And last question, what did you do yesterday instead of the tournament? Not much really. Just um, watched a bunch of YouTube videos and drank a couple of bottles of beer, uh, just to drown my sorrows. Yeah, sometimes I drink alone when I've had a bad day or something. Um, I know it's not the answer, but it helps me. Don't judge me. Um, Yeah, that was basically it. And that's it for questions in this episode. Like, thank you very much for your guys' questions. Very entertaining as usual. If you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.